is extremely windy today in Amarillo. I am very interested to see how this does on the highway. I am sorry for the noise because I feel like it's so loud. Because Amarillo is actually the windiest city in the United States. It actually beat out Chicago. I think Chicago was number 3. Amarillo is the windiest city. And in a Wrangler, we all know, if you own a Wrangler, you know that it doesn't even have to be windy for you to hear the noise in this Wrangler. So I am really interested to see what kind of gas mileage we get, how often I have to fill up. As you saw in the beginning of this video, I filled the Jeep up. I actually did that yesterday because I was very, very low on gas and I just needed to fill it up anyway. So right now my range, we are at 220, and I can't tell if the wind is like coming from the side of me or it's in front of me, but it is extremely windy, and so I think that will definitely have an effect on my gas mileage. It is saying that I am currently getting 12 miles to the gallon, and we started at 12.6 on average for miles per gallon. I'm hoping that we can maybe raise that up a little bit on this road trip. So I don't know, we're gonna see. Also, how comfortable is this 392 going to be on a road trip? I literally haven't taken it out. I've had this for a while now, and I mainly have just driven it around town, and it's of course comfortable when I'm only in it for 10-15 minutes. But I have to go into Oklahoma City today. I have a memorial service that I need to go to tomorrow morning, so I am driving in today. My family is already there, and then I'll be heading back tomorrow after the memorial service. So I'm just gonna take y'all along for the trip with me. So let's go. Alright, had to take the shades off because it is actually pretty gloomy today. It is cold. It is like 32 degrees outside, and it is still windy. We are about an hour into this drive. Let me check what kind of gas mileage we are getting. It is still so fucking windy. So my range went down quite a bit. I don't think that I've really driven that much, but my range is at 156. I have bumped back up to 13 miles per gallon. So that's pretty good, 13.1. We're doing all right on that front. I have the seat heater on, which actually feels so good on my back. Also because I'm freezing. I am always so cold now. And like I said, it's pretty cold outside. So I have the temp in here at like 77, and I have the seat heater on. So I am actually just living my best life. If Kevin was in the car with me, he would be like, bitch, we're turning this off. That is one thing about the Wranglers that is a little weird. It does get kind of cold in here, because that is another reason why it is so loud, is because they literally have very, very little insulation. So it gets pretty cold in here and very loud. But so far, like I said, we're an hour in, so this drive is pretty easy. This is literally basically all I-40 until forever, until I get there. So let's continue on with the journey, and I'll probably have to stop and get gas in about an hour, so I'll check back in then. Well, we just made it into Oklahoma. I am about an hour and a half in, and it doesn't take very long to get into Oklahoma. And I always think it's really weird, like literally as soon as you get over the state line, you can tell that you're in another state. Like the grass is always greener in Oklahoma, and it's really weird. Not that I like Oklahoma more, it's just quite literally the grass is greener as soon as you get into this state. It is so fucking weird every time I drive here. Again, only an hour and a half in, and we are still killing it. I'm just listening to music. Normally, I listen to audiobooks when I drive because I cannot zone out when I listen to music. What do you do? Comment down below. What do you listen to? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you listen to music? Do you listen to an audiobook? Are you even able to zone out when you drive? Because I have never been able to. I am constantly looking at how many more miles I have left, how many more miles I have left on my gas tank. Kevin can literally just get in the car and drive and like not think about anything and just drive. How? Let me know what you do on road trips. Because I struggle with road trips if I'm not listening to an audiobook, but I didn't want to just like start a brand new book for this drive, so we are listening to music, and it is kind of a struggle, I'm not gonna lie. So I will check back in when I have to get gas, which is probably going to be pretty soon. Holy shit, it is fucking cold outside. It is really cold and really windy. I just had to get gas. I am all filled up. My range is about 260. I am getting 12.9 miles to the gallon right now because, as you can hear, again, I've said it multiple times, it is windy as fuck outside and it is so cold. But had to go to the restroom and, of course, had to pick up a snack. Got some beef jerky. I should have gotten this at the gym before I left because gas station beef jerky is always so fucking expensive. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. We're on a road trip, right? Motherfuck. Let me know in the comments down below, what is your road trip food of choice? Mine is always beef jerky and pistachios. I love pistachios because they take a really long time to eat. So I kind of focus on getting the nut out of the shell instead of just mindlessly driving. Anything I can do to take my mind off of driving is the best. And of course, beef jerky is always a top choice because we have to get our protein in. It is really difficult when you're on a road trip to get your water and your protein, be hitting all of your macros. So beef jerky is always the move. I've got about an hour and 40 minutes is what it says. I should be getting there at about now like 12:50. It was 12:30 before, but obviously, you know, you got to get gas, you got to go to the bathroom. But I should be good until I get to the hotel where my parents are staying at. So I will check back in with any updates, or maybe just to talk to y'all because I'm fucking bored. But let's go. We've got a little bit of moisture coming. Nothing crazy. I've kind of missed all of the rain on the road so far, but we are getting a little bit. Not a big deal because we're in a Jeep. We got this. All right. I am about an hour away from the hotel and just outside of Oklahoma City in Edmond. So I am about an hour away. I have been hitting some pretty gnarly rain. It's been touch and go. Like right now it's not that bad, but it is still raining, and there has been points where I have not been able to see the road. Like it has been coming down pretty hard. Other than that, this drive is not that bad. I knew that it was going to be raining. I had checked the forecast. Usually rain is not that big of a deal to drive in, but when it is coming down so heavy and you're surrounded by semis, it gets a little sketchy. But like I said, 1 hour away. I am almost there. Let's continue on with the journey. Let's go. Also, here is a little bit of tidbit, like road trip, stupid trivia. I don't know if people know this, but I just learned this recently, like within the last, I don't know, couple of months. So you know when it says, okay, Oklahoma City is 55 miles away. I always thought that meant like from the city center, and that like never made sense to me because like in Amarillo, it will say that, but that's not like where downtown is. Like, does that make sense? So when it says that, however, whatever town is X miles away, that is where the original post office of that town was. That's where they designate the miles start at, is from the original post office in that road trip trivia for you. Some people know that. I did not know that, so now you know. All right, we have arrived. I am at the hotel. We're gonna park in a different parking spot. Please hold. Back this baby in. Don't mind my backing up skills. All right, we are here. I am just going to, Jesus Christ, my hair is crazy. I just got to the hotel. I am going to go into the room, meet my parents and my sister, and we are going to grab some lunch because it is almost 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I ate my beef jerky, but I need to get some water. I need to take my vitamins. I need to walk around for a little bit, and I need real food. So let's go. Had to get road trip fuel, Diet Dr. Pepper, and Qdoba. Yes. So I am starting back up. I am driving back home now. Got all filled up, got a little snack to go, got a Qdoba bowl, and we are starting back, driving back to Amarillo. Very, very quick trip. Just had to go to the memorial service this morning, which was extremely difficult. My cousin's daughter passed away and she was 4 years old. It was
Turn left,
it was a very
I-40
tough
West, US 270 West toward Amarillo.
Sorry. It was a very tough memorial. My dad did the service, so it was a very tough morning, but we got through it and now I have to head back home. So let's continue with the road trip. Let's go. Okay, I am going to test out a theory on the way back to Amarillo that I have. We'll see if I am right or wrong about this. When my sister and I were driving around yesterday, she was sitting in the back because we were with my dad, and she was saying it was so loud, and I turned the performance exhaust off, and I just realized that I forgot to turn it back on. But then I started thinking, well, what if the gas mileage is different with it off? So I'm going to leave it off the entire time back to Amarillo and see if we get better gas mileage with it off. It sounds so weird in here though without it on. It's like so quiet. I'm like, so this is what a Wrangler is normally like. I just get very used to the sound of the performance exhaust. But I am really interested to see because, as you can probably hear, it is again extremely windy. So I feel like the variables will be the same as far as wind. So that will not affect it maybe. But we're going to see on the way back to Amarillo if I get better gas mileage with the performance exhaust off. So let's go. All right, so we are about an hour into the drive back to Amarillo. This wind is gnarly today. I feel like it's much worse, and I feel like I'm quite literally driving right into it. Like, I hate watching my hood thinking it's gonna like come up and bash my windshield. It gives me so much anxiety. But I just thought about something and I'm curious. I want to know in the comments down below, what do y'all do when you are on a road trip, like as far as the speed limit? We all know what the speed limit is. Do you go the speed limit? Do you go 5 over? Do you go 10 over? I remember reading a book once called My Friend Leonard. And in the book, he works for like this mobster, drug dealer kind of guy. If I can remember, this was like over a decade ago that I read this book, maybe 15 years ago. And he is running drugs for him and he is driving. So the Leonard tells him, only go 3 over. They will not pull you over for going 3 over. And it's not like as suspicious as going the speed limit or going 5 over. I've also been pulled over for speeding in like, they're like, yeah, 5 over, like we usually don't pull people over. So I always go 3 to 5 over. I'm curious what other people do. Like, do you get the same paranoia if you're going like 8 over? Do you just keep it 5 over and keep it safe? Because they really won't pull you over for going 5 over. it is really like usually not worth their time. But I feel like 3 is a comfortable amount over. You're kind of doing a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just curious. I'm curious what everybody does, or do you just say fuck it and you're the speed car that everybody follows? Like, and you all know what I'm talking about when I say the speed car. Like when you're on a road trip and there's that one car that just like does not give a fuck, and you follow it, you keep going, like they're going 95 and you're like, whatever, let's do this, and you follow them. That's all good. You just don't want to be the last car behind the speed car, because that's the one that's going to get pulled over. I'm just curious. Let me know in the comments down below what y'all do as far as speed on a road trip. I need answers. Curious minds want to know. Something that I wanted to add in regards to the performance exhaust, and like I was talking about speeding, I definitely speed a lot more when the performance exhaust is not on, because I cannot hear how fast I'm going, if that makes sense. Because with the performance exhaust, you can tell, like, obviously when you are accelerating, you can hear it. I can't hear it, so I like look down and I'm going 90. We don't need to be doing that. The speed limit here in Oklahoma is like 70, 75. But I'm actually so impressed with how this does going at 90. Like I have talked about many, many times, the only thing that I notice is the wind. But in terms of like riding, it rides so well at 90 miles an hour in a fucking Wrangler. Impressive. Yeah, but definitely when I'm done with this, I'm gonna have to turn that back on, because your girl does not need any speeding tickets for going fucking 90 on the highway. We gotta calm down with the lead fucking foot. Let me get over. Yeah, no, it's actually very impressive how well this does going at higher speeds. Wranglers are not really known for that, so this is doing pretty good on this trip back. I am living for this. Another hour down. We only have about an hour and a half left, which is not bad. Like I said, this drive is not bad, just boring. We are getting like 13 and a half miles to the gallon. I have about 100 miles on my range left, so I'm probably going to have to stop in, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or so, get some more gas. We are just about at a half a tank. Also, does this make anybody else irrationally mad when there's like 2 semis like right next to each other, and the one that's trying to pass the other one is like literally going the same exact speed? Yeah, I gotta love I-40, because this happens a lot. Like, it's happening right now. Yay, so much fun. Again, like I said, the drive is not that bad right now. I'm actually pretty comfortable, all things considered. Ooh, I felt like the camera was going crazy there. Yeah, so I will check back in when I have to get gas, and I'm probably going to have to use the restroom soon, because I'm trying to get my gallon of water in. Blah. Also, how do we feel about this pink? It literally matches the Jeep. For the memorial service, they wanted us to wear bright colors, and I am not a bright color girly, so I had to go find a bright color to wear, and I actually like it. I think it like is bringing some life to my face instead of just black. But tell me what you think of the pink sweater, because I kind of like it. Maybe I need to add some more color to my life and not be so boring. This is what I'm talking about. Like, y'all are literally going the same speed, but trying to pass each other. Comment down below if this shit pisses you off too. I'm so annoyed. Well, I should have just waited like 2 minutes when I was talking in the last clip, because no wonder why the GPS was trying to talk to me, because we're back in Texas now. I didn't even realize that was coming up. So back in Texas. Again, it's only been like 2 minutes, so we still have about an hour and 20 road trips, you gotta have bathroom breaks. They're very important. My aunt used to, like, we would drive to Iowa when I was a kid, and it was a really long trip, like 12 hours or something. And I remember her, like, literally not letting us drink in the car so that we wouldn't have to stop. And that may sound a little cruel, but, like, with 4 children and 1 adult, I totally get it now that I'm an adult. I would not want to deal with that shit either. So I try and minimize how much I drink, but also it's already been a day and I need to really drink my water and get it in. My back is starting to hurt, obviously sleeping in like a hotel bed and not being in your own bed. And then I drove yesterday and I'm driving today. My back is hurting a little bit, but we're gonna get through it. We have less than an hour. Quick, easy drive, and then I'll be home. So let's finish this fucking road trip. Let's go. I just pulled into Amarillo, the outskirts of Amarillo. I am finally back in town. There is a little bit more traffic, so I'm trying to navigate that. So the overall gas mileage, we are now at 13.3 miles to the gallon, which is about what it was before I turned the performance exhaust off. So that really didn't make a big difference. And I think altogether for the trip in gas, I spent about $200 for essentially 7 hours of driving. Is a little bit expensive. This car does not get good gas mileage at all. It is not made for road trips. So which brings me to my next point. Would I take this on another road trip? Probably not. If I have the option to take the Trackhawk, I will probably take that. It is a little bit more comfortable. No, not a little bit. It is a lot more comfortable because it has the lumbar support in the seats and it is quiet. This is a very loud vehicle to be driving on the highway going, 85 miles per hour. It is loud and it just doesn't have quite the creature comforts that you want for a road trip. But it overall wasn't a bad trip. It was a short trip, so I didn't really mind driving the Wrangler. And of course, I needed to see what it was going to do on the highway because the most that I've driven it is maybe 15 minutes. So I didn't know. We got to test out the performance exhaust to see if that made a difference because that's something that I've actually been wondering about a lot and wanted to see if that would make any bit of difference in gas mileage, and it really doesn't. So if you have a 392, leave the performance exhaust on all the time. You paid for it. Leave it on. You want it to sound badass. Hold on.
68A, Julian Boulevard, Paramount Boulevard.
Almost home. Leave the performance exhaust on. It sounds good. You paid for it. You might as well. It's not going to affect your gas mileage at all that I've noticed in this trip. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you are subscribed to the video if you want to see more 392 content. And let's go.